What is up, guys? This is Olympio coming at you with a deck profile of my UA.deck. Now, this is the updated deck profile. I will have you know that I've had my athletes working hard, training away and testing, and this is the byproduct of what we have come up with. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. It has changed since the last one, which you will see. It's probably going to be another long deck profile, just because I would like to explain everything, and people seem to like it too, the reasoning behind all of my choices. So we'll go straight into it. Start you off, we have the 3 Mighty Slugger, the famous batsman himself. This is a absolutely incredible card. This with Jersey just is your opponent's demise. It really is, because you just get 2 attacks in with double damage if you hit the monster, and it's just amazing. He's on at least 3-3. But he will normally be on 3-6 because of the 500 boost. So Mighty Slugger is a great card. Really recommend him. You have to play him at 3 though, in my opinion. Then we have the UA Perfect Ass. Perfect Ass, as you can see here. Perfect Ass. Sorry. Yeah, Perfect Ace is basically your little mini herald in your opponent's turn. Do note that it is your opponent's turn, not yours. Now, it is a bit annoying that it's on your opponent's turn, because if it was your turn, it would be that much better. But there is nothing much you can really do. Konami can't really give us something too broken, even though it wouldn't be broken, but you know what I mean. Perfect Ace just helps you set up your plays, or helps you just protect your monsters mainly from your opponent's turn, because it can stop your spell traps, the effects, whatever, it doesn't matter. But Perfect Ace is just really good in my opinion. And again, another one that has to be run at 3. Really nice with his 2-5 defense, but he does get quite big after a while with Stadium. Then we have the 2 Goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's great. He has gone up from 1 to 2 in this version, mainly because I want to see more UA monsters. Now, Goalkeeper is a good card. 2-8 defense is nothing to stick your nose up at, but at the end of the day, he just goes against what type of deck I'm running, to be honest, because I am looking for the OTKs, I'm looking for the big hits, and I'm looking to kind of speed my opponent out. Goalkeeper does do that quite well-ish, I guess, because it does protect you, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just a monster to fall back on. There's nice combos with these two. If you use them together, you can protect each other and everything like that. And don't forget, a Goalkeeper can protect other UA monsters and not just this one. Then we have the main runner. We have the actual athlete of this deck. We have Midfielder. Midfielder is a very key important card in the deck. While his effect might not be used that often, he is here to be a UA level 4 normal summon for stadium searches, for rotor targets, and also for invoker target. So he has a very core aspect in the deck, and I do believe that he is needed at 3. You can't run this deck without 3 of him. In my opinion, you can't run the deck without 3 Slugger, Ace, and Midfielder, and then Goalkeeper is down to yourself how many you want to run. Going on to the other engine, so we have the tour guides of the Underworld. This is quite standard, to be honest. A lot of people kind of go for this. There are a few different ways this deck runs with the mini engines. There's the tour guide one, which I run. There's the Warrior of the Wasteland, which is a level 4 warrior that will special summon a warrior with 1500 attack or less in attack position when it's destroyed by battle. So that's everything apart from Slugger. But the problem is you do have to have it destroyed, and it's a lot slower than just being able to summon Tour Guide to get the Midfielder off the Invoker and then being able to proceed with your plays. So that's why and the other one, sorry, is the Artifact engine, which is also a very good one. I mean, it's just completely down to your playing style, completely down to yourself, which you want to prefer. Then the Burning Abyss monsters. We have 2 Graph. There was a decision that I had to make between choosing a Graph and choosing a Seer. Seer is good, obviously, because it gets from the graveyard, but I just prefer the aspect of deck thinning with Graph. Graph is really good, really love the card, and it's, in my opinion, better. Mainly because I don't want to have late game Seers that are really not going to get me much. I would rather thin the deck, just get rid of them all, and late game be stuck with the actual cards that I want. Then we have the 2 Skarm. This is the last card in the Burning Abyss engine. There are only 2 cards, but it's a 2-to-2 ratio. Skarm is just here because obviously he's one of the best ones. The fact you just search Tour Guide and everything like that, or whichever BA you want, or Fiend even. Then going on to the final 2 monsters, I think that makes it 20 monsters in total. Denko Sekka. Denko Sekka is a really, really nice card. The reason why he, or she, excuse me, is in here is because it really helps with your OTK. You go Denko Sekka, or if you maybe go midfielder, then something like, it's just, the card is just really great. The combos that you can have is pretty outstanding because it really stops your opponent from doing anything. And let's not forget, it does get boosts from Stadium when your monsters are special summoned. So Denko Sekka is a really nice card. I really do enjoy playing it. It's fitted in really nice, and if only it was a warrior, that would make it amazing. However, since it's a Thunder deck profiles. Going on to the spells, we have 16 or 17 of these spells. Start it off as your UA Stadium. Critical card, has to be in here at 3. This is what really gets you going. And now that, you know, the rule not too long ago said that stadiums, that field spells can be played on both sides of the field, it really actually gives field spells a boost. So that is why Stadium is just even so much better. You normal summon a UA, you search a UA, you special summon a UA, 500 attack and defense for all your monsters, and it stacks as well. I really wish that the 500 attack and defense wasn't just once per turn, that you special attack. But that might be a little bit too crazy. But Stadium is incredible. You have to run it at 2. Then we, 3, sorry. Then we have the Powered Jersey. Again, you have to run this at 3 in my opinion. I know that you can recycle it, but the quicker you see this with any of your UAs, but particularly Mighty Slugger, is the quicker to win. This card is just so brutal. The amount of times I can easily do 4,000 damage with 1 attack just because he's boosted up, excuse me, and just because it does double damage, is incredible. This card is just so good. Even if you just equip it to midfielder, for example, to make it 2-2 for your turn, just to attack to clear something, and then bounce it back for an ace, you just get it straight back. It's just so good. It's one of the best equipped spell cards I've seen in a while, and I really, really enjoy playing it. Then we have the 3 Monarch Stormforth. So, I contemplate putting this at 2, contemplate leaving it at 3. So far it's been left at 3 because it's really nice to see it. When I struggle, when I've got opponent's monsters on your side of field, I really do struggle at times to be like, I would really like to get rid of them before I start going off on my combos. And this card is just amazing for it. So that is why I've got it at 3. It's just nice because I have a total of, I think it's 8 tribute monsters in the deck, so having an 8-to-3 ratio isn't too bad, and that's why Stormforth is in here. Then we have 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. There's a lot of back row, skill drains, and vanities are around, and everything like that, so 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, because this deck can OTK, that's why it's there. Then we have the 2 Rota. So, I know a lot of people have been saying, you must play 3 Rota in this deck. I get what you mean. I know why you play 3 Rota. 3 Rota's there to get to your midfielder quicker, and even if you don't have any targets in the deck, it's a discard for Perfect Ace. I realise that, but it's the same reason that I won't run Terraforming at 3. I don't like having the same ratio to targets, because it always bites me in the arse. It really, really does. So that's why I only have 2 Rota, and I haven't missed it. I haven't missed the 3rd one. I did test it at 3 because I'll always do that, but I just haven't missed the other Rota, to be honest. And if you haven't seen like a UA midfielder at that point and haven't had a way to summon other UAs, you're probably going to lose anyway, so that's just kind of that. As I was saying, the 2 are Terraforming, just standards. Then, one of the new cards is the Feast of the Wild level 5. So if you don't know what this does, it's special summon up to 2 level 5 warrior monsters from your hand and or graveyard, but their effects are negated. Also, they cannot attack. Now, I know a lot of people have been putting this in at 3. I feel that 3 is way, way too much. I know the ruling behind it, I know the understanding behind it, and I know the philosophy behind it. But I can't put any more than 1 in because it just clogs. Now, you might think, what do you mean it clogs? Well, you put it at 3, you have 6 targets. That's a 6-to-3 ratio. It's a 1 in 3 ratio. Not bad, yeah? But I just prefer being able to, have one. This is a late game card. It really, really is, in my opinion. Mid to late game, where you have your monsters in the grave, and it's all very well and good bringing back a Mighty Slugger and an Ace, but they don't do anything. You need to have the other cards in hand to actually bounce back, to actually make use of the card. And when I've had it at 3, I didn't have that. It was more of I've summoned a monster just to block it. It's not that good. I'd rather sacrifice those other 2 slots for other useful cards. So that's why it's at 1, but it has been working really well at 1. Going on to the final traps, we have 2 traps done. Card's great, works really well in this deck. And if I had space to fit in a third, I probably would. But unfortunately, I don't at this current moment in time. And then finally, we have the 2 Phoenix Windblast. These can be substituted for Karma Cuts or for Raigeki Breaks, whichever you prefer. I just prefer this because I like kind of knowing what my opponent's going to draw if it is a back row or if it's anything like that. Unless it's an extra deck monster, but nevertheless, you're still getting rid of something powerful. I like to know that I'm blocking my opponent out of a draw next turn. And it's all about knowledge, this game. So if you just have the knowledge that what your opponent's going to draw next turn, really useful. So it's a 40 card deck, if I do remember correctly, or 41 I think it might be. Just because I really wanted to fit in that level 5, Feast of the level 5s. So going on to the extra deck, we have the 1 Tyrius, the 1 Durandal, because it is quite useful at times, and then the 1 Volcasaurus. Don't really go into level 5s all that much, if I'm honest, but they are there if you do need them, and I've picked the best ones that I feel run with the deck. Then we have the 2 Downer Magicians. This is because you now do a lot more level 3 plays with this deck. Having, I think, 7 level 3s in there, the tour guides and the BAs, it's just nice to have. It's easily accessible, and the card's just good in general, in my opinion, so that's why it's there. Level 4s, we have the 1 Exeter Knight. The level 4s are the midfielder targets, the 1 Arc, and then the 1 Castell. These are just here for your emergency kind of plays. You don't really go into level 4s that often at all, but here is where you do go into it. So we have the 1 Evoker. I only play 1 because out of all the matches I've played, I've never needed to go into a second. If I've gotten off the effect twice, then I normally win, just because it's just all about advantage. And even if I only get it off once, it's still good because I'll only make that play if I do genuinely have a card in hand, and that'll normally be Perfect Ace, and that just means that I have this and Perfect Ace on the field, so it's really, really nice. 1 Fortune Tune, this is to recycle the Burning Abyss engine if needs be, and just great in general. The 1 Alucard, just because we don't like any set cards. The 1 Levier, in case they get banished or anything like that, you can make some quite cute plays with this. The 1 Giga Brilliant, because boosting up attack actually makes the difference. If you think about it with Slugger, you just double everything with this, so an extra 300 is actually an extra 600, which can actually go into a lot. So it's really, really nice. 1 Mech Equipped Engineer, just to kind of protect yourself if you need it, and then finally the 1 Zen Mains. So that is it, guys. That is the deck profile. I've been having a lot of success and a lot of fun with this deck. It's just seriously so fun, and I really enjoy playing these crazy decks, and I really enjoy Konami bringing them out because they can actually function. And if you think about it, if that equip spell was generic, it would be broken, right? It'd be pretty broken. So in essence, this card is pretty good for this deck. So that is it. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think, if there are any changes you think I should do, or how your deck maybe runs might be differently to mine. You might have the artifact engine or anything like that. So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.